In this video, I'm going to talk to you about 5 ways to lead a more peaceful and happy life. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Kim Huffman. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. So, what are the 5 things that can help us lead a more peaceful and happy life? I think most of these things you'll find are probably pretty obvious, but it's a nice reminder to stop and think about what are those things that we can do each day to just be happier. They're all pretty basic things that I think we can stop and think about each day. So number 1, the need for approval. Many of us, I think, look to others for their approval. We want people to like us. We sometimes do things we don't want to do or buy things we don't want to buy. Maybe that designer purse. Maybe your friends all have designer purses and you really can't afford it. Or maybe you just don't feel a need for a designer purse and you're fine with your one from Target. But many times we put ourselves in a position of feeling like we need to be like everybody else or act or think in a way that meets other people's expectations. And I think that's really just setting yourself up for unhappiness and stress. I know many times, people do that and then they feel like they aren't really being their real true self. And then you may have friends or family members, colleagues that like you, but it's not really you. So wouldn't you rather have people like you for who you truly are? And so being authentic to who you are, saying no when you don't want to do something, and only being that person that you feel deep down you really are, I think is important and can really lead to so much more satisfaction in life and feeling like you're being your true authentic self. All right, so number 2. This one's going to get a little bit deep. So in this one, I would say release or let go of toxic or unhealthy relationships. I think, many people find themselves in a relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, maybe your spouse or partner, or it could be a friendship, or sometimes it's a family member. But you may know somebody who doesn't treat you the way you would like to be treated. Maybe they're disrespectful, maybe they're controlling, maybe they make you feel bad about yourself. And if that's the case, you really don't need to be in that relationship. So stop and think about, what is it you're getting from that relationship? Are they making your life better? Are they adding value to your life? And if they aren't, then consider getting out of that relationship. Life is short. We only have one life to live. And why do you want to be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't treat you the way you deserve to be treated? I know there was a time I was in an unhealthy relationship, romantic relationship, and I had someone say to me, what would happen if you found out you had cancer and you were ill? Would you regret being in that relationship? Would you regret spending so much time with that person and wasting time and wasting your life with them? How would you feel about that? And it really made me stop and think, geez, I really don't want to spend all my time with this person. I'm wasting my life. It's really not worth it. And don't you know, I ended up finding out I had cancer a year after I had ended that relationship. Actually, it wasn't even a year after I had ended that relationship. And I thought to myself, good going, Kim. I'm glad you ended that. Obviously, I'm okay, and I called it early. But it really made me see things in a different light, that it's just not worth it, to be in relationships or have friendships that aren't healthy or don't add value to your life. And you have to figure out what that is for you. All right, so that one was a little bit deep. So let's get to one that's a little less sensitive, maybe a little on the lighter side. And the third one would be, don't sweat the small stuff. We all remember that book, that was out many years ago. And it's so true. I think that was a great little book that had so many great little nuggets in it. And I think many of us, including myself, kind of let the small stuff get to us sometimes. And maybe you're just, kind of having a bad day or whatever, and you feel like, oh, this traffic is stressing me out, or, my spouse came home late for work and, we were supposed to have dinner plans or reservations, or, maybe somebody didn't respond back to your phone call or your text, as quickly as you thought they should. But really, in the grand scheme of things, like I just said, life is so short, and those things really, aren't worth, our time and our energy in getting that upset over. So really stop and think the next time you get upset about something, like, is this really worth it? Is this really worth my energy and my peace, my inner peace? This is just stressing me out for no reason. And I, really don't need to be stressed out over this. It's really not that big of a deal. All right. So then I would say number 4 is fear, releasing the fear. So this was a big one for me. And I think some people, don't live in fear a lot. But others of us, I think, sometimes let fear rule our lives in a way that maybe you make decisions based on being afraid of something. So it could be anything from, being afraid to sell your house and moving to an area that you want to live in. Maybe you're retired and you're considering moving to, a 55 and over community, but you're afraid to do that because you're afraid to leave the area you're in or the house you're in, or you're afraid you won't meet new people, or, will you be accepted? Will people like you? Maybe the fear is you're afraid to change jobs. Maybe you're not happy in your job, but you're afraid to change jobs because you don't know, rightfully so, what your new boss will be like or your new colleagues. But living in that fear keeps us stuck and keeps us from growing and learning, and it can really, stifle your growth in your life and make you not only just unhappy, but sometimes it can even make you sick. So, thinking about the next time when you have a decision or there's something you really want to do that you've always wanted to do, but you're afraid. Sometimes people are afraid to fly in a plane, and, I get that, but then maybe they don't travel. What if their dream vacation is to go to Europe, but they don't go because they're afraid to fly in the plane? So think about those things that and maybe it's something much smaller in a day. Maybe you want to go, join the gym, but you're afraid to join the gym because you don't want to be judged because maybe you're not happy with the way you look or something. So all of those things that we do to really limit our lives out of fear, again, is so limiting. So take a look at your life, and are there areas that you're holding yourself back due to fear? And then I would say the next one would be number 5 is prioritize your health. And that's always in my top 5 lists that I make. Prioritizing your health, getting exercise every day, even if it's just 30 minutes a day, walking, going to the gym, lifting weights, playing pickleball, whatever it is you enjoy doing, make sure you're getting exercise every day if you can. Yoga, stretching, and make sure, if you like meditating, meditate. Whatever you can do to help enhance your well-being. Exercise, as we all know, is great for your body and keeps you moving and active and keeps you healthy, but it's also great for your mind and stress relief. And then ultimately that can make you happier. I hope you found the top 5 list useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel below.